we're doing Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy returns home. You know, and so she's with her family, and there's a scene where like her uncle is standing over the bed. So because I'm in charge of lighting, I kind of go, well, you know, we could make this scene have a lot more implications. Cogburn being the epic troll he is too. So I decide to set some very dark, intimidating lighting, like dark reds, a little bit of purple mixed in, that kind of shit. Like real, like, emo bullshit. Cogburn at the same time decides to start unbuttoning his shirt right as we bring down the house lights. So the last thing you see is Dorothy's uncle saying, "Welcome home, Dorothy," and he starts unbuttoning his shirt as she's laying on her bed, and it's very dark, subtle tones, and oh god, it pissed the fucking drama club teacher off something fucking hard. Like, yeah, Trey, we were real. I get it. You know, it's supposed to be for kids, but I'm like, I don't know. It's rural Kansas in the fucking 1800s. Or not 1800s. What do you call it? Wizard of Oz takes place in what, like 1930? Oh, I love my favorite tap dancing scene, and maybe it's overused, but is putting on the Ritz in Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein, the fucking like Mel Brooks, I think it's Mel Brooks, like version of Frankenstein. It's freaking hysterical because it kind of makes sense, and it's one of my favorite tap dancing scenes in all cinema history that I've seen. There is also the other one, which is also Mel Brooks, but in I think it's History of the World, when there's like the dancing scene, but it's not really tap dancing at that point, it's more like line dancing. So like if you cut out the band, it would be tap dancing, but if you have a band, it's not really tap dancing in my opinion, like an overband. Like, so when it's a stage performance, you guys, I'm assuming, doing, I don't know any real like tap dances or good dances. I know Hungarian dance number I think it's number 17. You know, there's nothing bad if people are, in my opinion, like kind of trying. And I don't mean that in a shitty way. What I mean is, like, if somebody's still learning and honing and perfecting their craft, I have no problem with it being a subpar performance, just as long as I watch them over the years, they get better and better and better. Watch some of Sean Connery's early shit, for example, and it is brutal and rough. We didn't do tap dancing in the performance, made me sad. It was footwork and singing. Oh, so kind of like Dancing in the Rain, like that kind of shit. I hated. We did that in, like, as like a warm-up routine. We kind of learned to do the song and dance for that, and I absolutely hated it. First one dude nailed it. See, I hated that kind of stuff, but I was like, I didn't hate the people that did it. I never understood that. I never understood hating people for being like, I'm into this. All right, cool, bet, just be into that. It's like you said, you kind of lean into it. Like, why not? What if you're passionate about something, if you enjoy it, if you rejecting shit in life you enjoy is, I can't even begin to say how, like, it's just how fucked up that would be. Oh, is that military tubing? Oh my god. You were imaginative with no outlet. I enjoy. Yep, that was. I had outlets, just not with people for a long time with my imagination, or at least people in real. I don't want to say people in real life. Maybe that's the. So, like, there's always the distinction of, oh, you had no gaming. So I was allowed to online game, and I had a lot of online gaming friends at that point. To the point, and this is something that genuinely upset one of my teachers. So we had to do I enjoyed talking to people online more than I enjoyed talking to people in real life, because the people I hung out with in real life were old, for the most part, for a long time. And then when more and more people became online as school developed, it was just like, I just didn't hang out with kids my age. So, anyways, I made a lot of friends online doing like creativity through like gaming and stuff. Like I didn't do anything bad online when I was young. It was all, yeah, for the most part, wholesome stuff. I mean, there's always the, you know, hey, you're young, you're a kid, you're gonna look at things on the internet. We've all been there. But I would hang out in like, so I'd play StarCraft and Diablo a lot, especially StarCraft. And you could script and code in StarCraft, and because you could script and code, you could create your own scenarios. So I effectively ran like D&D campaigns in StarCraft. And it was like, and you would just run them, like it would have maybe only like 10 people with you at a time. By the way, I've never been here. Like, this is my first time on this map, guys. I have no idea where any of the loot, like in the new section. I'm just exploring, so I don't know if I need to say that, but this area is pretty dope. I like it. Anyways, so when I was in like middle school, we had to write a project about people that influenced us and shit, and like make a journal and things. Well, that's marketing. Okay. So I wrote about a lot of people I met online and stuff, and it was just, it wasn't like bad. I didn't like, it wasn't negative. It was never negative. And I remember having a lot of weird conversations with my teachers about it because they were confused and concerned. I'm like, I talked to kids in my class. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wasn't antisocial in school. I mean, I kind of was a little bit. I would read books more than talk. But like when I did talk to people, it was because I had something to say. And if I didn't have anything to say, I didn't talk. And I generally didn't have anything to say to most classmates. I don't know if that's shitty, but yeah. So I have a fucking thing from my childhood too, with just a bunch of my old gaming friends. And I've tried to find them. They don't use the same handles, and this was before like Steam, and like the way you got in contact with people was maybe AOL, maybe Crossfire. There's like a few. There were very few options back then. And how to connect with people outside of games, and most people did not have them, most people did not use them, didn't believe in them, etc. You never hang out with people your age. It's, I don't know, if you're, I don't want to say if you're maturing when you're younger. Generally, if you were maturing faster when you're younger, though, you tend to, as far as I know, do not hang out with people your own age. And it's not a good thing necessarily. I'm not suggesting by any means that it's like, aha, I matured faster than people. It's like, no, I wish I was a kid longer. That's why I play a lot of video games right now. I couldn't even, if I grew up in the inner city, I dread to think of what my life would have became. I needed the peace and quiet of nature and serenity of nature. So, like, my parents would yell at me and they would get super pissed. The one time we got into a huge fucking fight. Me and Cogburn ended up like fist fighting our dad kind of for a little bit. Like huge fucking fight. And so I ended up storming out because I'm like, I'm sick of this shit. I don't want to like have to deal with it. So I just left, right? And I like fucking peeled off into the swamps. And because we grew up very rural in swamps. I'll leave it to your imagination. And it was insane to me how many times my parents called me, and I was like, they're like, you're gonna do something. I'm like, no, I just want to get the fuck away from you guys and like go sit on a, like, I'm gonna go sit in the swamps and read a book and look at the fucking stars and shit. I'm not doing anything stupid. Like I mean, I get it, but it was very funny. If I didn't have that space, if I didn't have the ability to storm off, like, I wouldn't have been able to remove myself from situations. Like, one of the things I pride myself in is the ability to just remove myself from a situation. Like, you guys watch my Tarkov play. It's very, like, reminiscent of real life. You know, unless I do need to actually fight somebody. I think it's mined up here from Dimitri's video. God damn it. All right. Yep. Oh. Hey, when paying attention to Tarkov TV makes sense. Okay. I mean, I guess that's kind of it. I don't know if I have any more to go. Oh, I'm not planning on dying, but we're he got so fucking. He just kept pushing. My issue is I don't have a CMS or anything, so like it's just walking out. It's gonna suck.